Have you ever heard of a word so special it couldn't fit in any dictionary? This story holds a great moral you'll discover at the end. In the village of silence, where everyone spoke in whispers, a word was born called Zibú, with golden wings and a sound that tickled when heard. Unlike other words, Zibú had no fixed meaning. It changed depending on who said it. For some, it meant joy. For others, hope or forgiveness. No one knew where Zibú came from, but the village elders didn't want it around. A word without a definition is dangerous, they said, locking it in a jar. Only one girl, named Leah, with hair as blue as the night, could hear Zibú vibrate inside the jar as if asking to fly free. Leah hadn't spoken since her mother disappeared among the stars, but Zibú tickled her heart, awakening sleeping words inside her. One night, while everyone slept, Leah opened the jar. Zibú flew out like a golden flash and swirled around her, saying her name with affection. "What are you?" Leah whispered. Zibú landed on her shoulder and replied, "I am everything that cannot be said with ordinary words." The next day, Leah took Zibú to the center of the village, where the elders waited with heavy dictionaries and stern looks. "A word without form is chaos," shouted the elder Mortil, with a beard made of wrinkled pages. "It must be defined, or it will vanish." But Leah, for the first time in years, spoke out loud. "What if not all words need a cage?" she asked, her eyes filled with courage. The village fell silent. Zibú rose into the air, shining even brighter. And in that moment, each person began to remember a nameless feeling. The baker remembered the smell of his mother baking bread. The seamstress, the tremble in her fingers when she saw her daughter born. Emotions they had never been able to explain. One by one, they all began to say Zibú to express what they had never been able to name. Laughter, tears, and hugs filled the square. Mortil, confused, checked every book, every dictionary, but he couldn't find a way to contain Zibú. The word slipped through the letters. That's when Mortil proposed capturing it in an official definition. Zibú, an ambiguous feeling between love, nostalgia, and promise. But when he tried to write it down, the word vanished. Zibú couldn't be caged. Every time someone tried to limit it, it escaped. Mortil, furious, demanded that all traces of Zibú be burned. "If it can't be controlled, it must not exist," he exclaimed, as the sky darkened. Leah hugged Zibú tightly. "Run," she whispered, and the word turned into light, spreading like a comet across the village sky. In that moment, everyone who had ever felt without being able to speak understood. Zibú wasn't made to be defined. It was made to be felt. But then something unexpected happened. The other words began to envy Zibú. "What if we want to be free too?" they whispered. The dictionaries began to lose weight. Words escaped from the pages, floating through the streets with new shapes and colors. Language became a carnival. People danced with words they had never said. Even Mortil began to laugh without knowing why. At first, it was beautiful, until chaos arrived. Without structure, no one understood anyone. Every word meant 1,000 different things. Leah realized even freedom needs a bit of shape not to fade away. She ran to the old oak where Zibú rested on a petal. "We need balance," she said, "to have wings, but also roots." Zibú nodded with a spark of tenderness and flew into the sky once more. From that day on, Zibú was never seen again. But in every heart remained the trace of what cannot be named, but can be felt. The village wrote a new book, The Words That Are Felt, and on the first page there was a blank space with a golden petal. Every child could write their own Zibú, with a drawing, an emotion, or a story. And so, language grew again, more human and magical. Leah, in time, became a storyteller. Every story she told carried a touch of Zibú, like a seed of unnamed emotion. Moral: not everything valuable needs a definition. Some things exist to be felt, not explained. See you very soon with more magical tales that will make your imagination soar and touch your heart with every adventure.